Emma Raducanu soars +2 in WTA rankings. Historic milestone achieved at China Open. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Before starting the video, please subscribe and keep watching for more details videos. Ever since her meteoric rise at the 2021 US Open, Emma Raducanu's career has been the subject of global fascination, speculation, and sometimes harsh criticism. The young Brit had turned the tennis world upside down as an 18-year-old qualifier, capturing a Grand Slam title without dropping a set. But the years that followed weren't kind. Injuries, coaching changes, media scrutiny. Each headline seemed focused more on her struggles than her spirit. Doubters whispered that her triumph in New York was a one-off fairy tale. Critics claimed she lacked the grit to grind it out on the WTA Tour. And yet, in the silence of empty training courts, Emma never stopped fighting. The China Open was supposed to be just another tournament on her comeback trail. Yet, destiny had other plans. Beijing nights. Beijing was alive with lights, red lanterns glowing against the autumn sky. The China Open, held at the National Tennis Center, buzzed with excitement as fans flocked to see some of the sport's biggest names. Emma stepped onto the court in her trademark calm demeanor, her ponytail swinging, her eyes focused yet soft. She knew the journey back up the rankings wasn't about one match or one tournament. It was about rediscovering the joy of competition. Her first-round opponent was a seasoned top 30 player, someone expected to sweep her aside. But from the very first rally, Emma's game spoke for itself. Her forehand had regained its sting, her backhand cracked like thunder, and her footwork, once tentative after injuries, was light and sharp again. She won in straight sets. The crowd roared. Something was different. Momentum builds. As the week progressed, Raducanu strung together victories with the kind of confidence that had defined her 2021 breakthrough. She wasn't just surviving rallies. She was dictating them. Every time she hit a winner, the stadium erupted. The Chinese crowd, always appreciative of young talent, quickly adopted her as one of their own. Raducanu Jiao, let's go Raducanu, echoed through the stands. She fed off their energy. Her smile returned, that radiant grin fans had missed for so long. By the quarterfinals, journalists who once wrote her off now scrambled to rewrite their narratives. Pundits praised her patience, her poise, and above all, her resilience. The semifinal epic. Emma's semifinal match was a war. Her opponent, a top 10 powerhouse known for relentless aggression. The clash went 3 sets, stretching nearly 3 hours. Sweat drenched Emma's shirt. Her legs trembled with fatigue, but her eyes burned with determination. At 5-5 in the deciding set, facing breakpoint, Emma unleashed one of the shots of the tournament. A lunging backhand pass down the line that clipped the chalk. The stadium exploded. She pumped her fists, let out a roar, and stormed to a 7-5 victory. That moment wasn't just about reaching the final. It was about proving to herself, to her critics, to the world, that she belonged among the best. The China Open final. The final was a spectacle. Emma, the comeback queen, against one of the WTA's most consistent performers. Cameras flashed, fans waved Union Jacks and Chinese flag alike, and millions watched around the globe. Emma fought valiantly, trading blows, each rally a test of nerve. In the end, she fell just short, losing in 3 tight sets. But there was no shame. She smiled at the net, shook hands with dignity, and raised her hand to acknowledge the crowd's thunderous ovation. For Emma, the result wasn't just about lifting a trophy. It was about the climb. The rankings reveal. The morning after, the WTA released its updated rankings. Emma Raducanu, +2 spots, back inside the world's top 50. It wasn't a leap into the top 10. It wasn't a Grand Slam title, but it was a milestone historic in its own right. For the first time in nearly 2 years, she was trending upward. The climb had begun. The British press hailed it as the rebirth of Raducanu. Social media erupted with support. Tennis legends congratulated her. Young fans posted videos of themselves imitating her strokes, calling her their inspiration, the human behind the headlines. Away from the spotlight, Emma sat in her hotel room, legs in an ice bath, scrolling through congratulatory messages. She smiled at her parents' text. "We're proud of you, Em. Keep going." She thought about the sleepless nights, the surgeries, the rehab sessions where she doubted if she'd ever swing a racket pain-free again. She thought about the tears shed when headlines mocked her. Now none of that mattered. What mattered was that she hadn't quit. She whispered to herself, "This is just the beginning." A ripple effect. Emma's achievement rippled far beyond her personal journey. In London, kids flocked to local courts, buzzing with renewed excitement for tennis. Coaches reported a surge of young girls saying, "I want to be like Emma." In Beijing, fans remember her not just as a competitor, but as a fighter who embraced their culture with warmth. In the broader tennis world, her story reignited discussions about resilience, mental health, and the pressures young athletes face. She became a symbol, not of perfection, but of perseverance. Looking ahead, the China Open was a stepping stone, not the destination. Emma knew the road ahead was still long. Grand Slam seasons awaited. Top players would still test their limits. Injuries could still lurk in the shadows. But she was no longer the fragile teenager, carrying impossible expectations. She was stronger now, wiser, and battle-hardened. Her +2 climb in the rankings was small on paper. But in the story of Emma Raducanu, it was monumental. Legacy in motion. Years from now, when people look back on her career, they might not remember the exact scorelines of Beijing. They might not recall the forehand winners or the lung-busting rallies. But they will remember that in 2025 at the China Open, Emma Raducanu began her second ascent. They will remember the headlines. Emma Raducanu soars +2 in WTA rankings. Historic milestone achieved at China Open. They will remember the roar of the Beijing crowd, the smile of a young woman who refused to be defined by her setbacks, and the spark she lit in millions of hearts worldwide. Because sometimes, history isn't just written in victories. Sometimes, it's written in the courage to rise again. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button, like, and share. Till next time.